Nick Fuentes' audience intentionally causes drama and crisis for individuals. Nick Fuentes has fans, and I said this on Friday when Elijah Schaefer was here. I don't think these are actually his fans.
Don't get me heated,
because these are people claiming to be groypers, claiming to be fans of Fuentes, who will threaten to rape and murder children. And I'm like, I really don't think.
Tim, where are you going right now? I am not happy with this take. Nobody, when they had the awful tragedies, I believe it was twice, the media tried to say it was someone who listened to the Tim Pool show. And nobody in this space that I listen to ever said, oh yeah, that's a Tim Pool issue. If you don't think they're real Nick fans, why are you talking about them? Why are they even relevant? Yeah, it could add security or whatever, but that you're still, see, what the problem I have, Tim, is you're saying they're not Nick fans, but you're still tying them into Nick. You're not even saying they're not Nick fans, so I'm going to blame the left. Why are you bringing it up? Why is that even coming up on this live where you're trying to defend yourself against Nick and Jake? If you don't think they're Nick fans, then why are they coming up? And I get heated about this because I forget when it was AFPAC 3. It was right around AFPAC 3 when I was like, everybody's talking about this guy named Nick. And I'm like, what? He's 60 pounds soaking wet. What are people afraid of with this dude? So I go look to find, I didn't even know where to find him. I was looking at old reactions, I guess, on YouTube and Rumble. And he's been using that set forever. And I'm looking at debates when he was like 18 and stuff. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, okay, he's kind of bright. Then I saw Dave Smith had a debate with him, and he held his own against that was good. And even after the debate, Dave Smith was like, this guy's talented. I want him on our side. I want him on the liberty side. He used to be, so many people used to be libertarians, used to be on the left. Nick used to kind of like the ideas of liberty. You either like the ideas of liberty, same with, I think, Stephen Ignoramus. You either like the ideas of liberty or you turn over to authoritarianism. There really is no middle ground. And Nick turned over to the other side of authoritarianism. And I started listening to Nick, and I went on to Nick's website. That was the only place that I was aware of to even listen to him before he was on Rumble. That just happened recently. And I went on his website, and I started listening to his show. And I'm like, wait a second, this is nothing like I was told what he was like. I'm like, this dude is just a based debate bro, very knowledgeable in politics, not even a right-winger. I mean, his takes aren't even, a lot of his takes can't even be defined as whatever right-wing is. He's a popular, well, he's authoritarian, but I think in many aspects he is a populist, very bright, and I get into his chat. And then I follow him on Gab. And I used to be on Gab all the time. I'm not as much anymore, I guess, because X got a little bit more looser. But I was on Gab all the time. So I was in there with who I would consider groypers. I was on Nick's website. That's where you find the most groypers. I mean, to my knowledge, I don't know, online. I've never met a groyper in person, though. And they're some of the coolest people I chat with online. I don't know what Tim is talking about. Tim, you got to talk to somebody who... The groypers are typically under 25 white males. And they use the N-bomb and stuff like that, but they don't use it like as a derogatory, or they kind of joke with it because it's one of those taboo things. And, you know, I had my profile picture on Nick's website. I think it was because it was through Telegram, or maybe I forgot how, but I was like, fine with that. It was my stuck in the middle one with my face on it. They see I'm black. Never had any problems with those groypers. I never had no problem. No, none. Dr. Karlin Borisenko, I don't know how much problem she has. She likes Nick. And she used to be a leftist, more libertarian now. I would never, ever disparage the groypers as, what is Tim talking about, as some type of, Tim's like, I don't think it is them. But if you think it is them, then it is them. I don't like that, Tim. You're better than that. I would never, and I'm fairly knowledgeable with them. But Stephen Ignoramus said they're not as friendly, so maybe I'm not interacting with the right groyper groups. I don't know. But the ones that I interact with, I have not had one problem with them. You know who I have way more problems with than the groypers? Are the Blackimons. They are something else. I go heads up with them. They are in the DMs like I want to throw hands and all that kind of stuff. They're the ones, at least for me, where I see that. I have not had no problems with groypers. Not a one, not even a little bit of a problem. And I disagree with them all the time. The Blackymons are the number one that I have problem with, but that's just maybe because of who I am. I don't know. And then maybe a little bit of Antifa. But even with the Antifa people that come into the DMs and say, oh, we're going to mess you up or whatever, I actually will chat with some of them. They're probably feds, and we actually have conversation, believe it or not. It's the Blackymons for me that are by far the worst. They do the meme. You point something out like, wait, why can't a bunch of Blackymons get together without fighting? And they'd be like, I want to fight you. They do the meme.
One of our people, one of the dissident right, will say blacks are more violent, and then some black dude on Twitter would be like, say that to my face and I'll kill you.
So true.
I'm like, dude.
So true. The Groypers are a great community. They're the only community that I know that is just random people I chat with, and they will go in the DM and say, hey, they would say, good morning, friend. I'd be like, damn, you must be a Fed. You too damn nice. So I really don't like this take, Tim. It's cringe. It's terrible.
Those are Knicks fans. I'm willing to bet those are like leftists who are trying to make Nick look bad.
You don't believe that, Tim?
Mary Morgan was on the show, and she's like, no, that's ridiculous. And Elijah Schaefer also said, no, that's ridiculous. And then a bunch of people in chat were like, that's absolutely not true. And I'm like,
so everybody's telling you that, Tim. I'm telling you it's not true because I've been in there with the Groypers. I'm cool with cool with a lot of the Groypers, respectfully. Mary told you it's not true. Elijah told you it's not true. Your chat told you it's not true. It's not true, Tim. I mean, it's pretty much, you don't know them like that. So I'm not going to listen to your opinion on that. But then, so now here's where Tim twists it to, oh, it's not true? Okay, well then Knicks fans are rapists or whatever else.
okay, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it really is that Nick Fuentes' fans just want to rape and murder children or just threaten to do so to cause problems for people.
Tim, bruh, what the hell? What kind of take is that, man? That's the exact same take that the leftists do to you when some tragedy happens and they say this dude watched 20 seconds of an episode one day. Tim's had a lot of bad takes. Now this one is going at common people. The Groypers are just common men who see white men, basically, young white men who see what's happening in the country. They're seeing that they're being ostracized. Now they're being kind of slid out the way. And they don't even look at it in a defeatist or victimhood manner. But that's the group of people we're talking about. And you're disparaging them like this, Tim. This is something I would expect from Joe Scarborough on MSNBC. This is a terrible take, Tim. This is an awful take. This is your worst take out of all the takes I've ever heard you have. Because now you're going at regular people. A disgusting, despicable take. I still respect Tim, but I have to call this what it is. It is, and it's so insidious because you're hiding behind the take. You're not even coming out and saying the take. You're saying, oh, I don't think it's the leftists, but I don't believe you, Tim, because if you thought it was just the leftists, you wouldn't even bring it up. So you're trying to play a chess move to say, it's not the leftists. Well, it's not really representative of all of Knicks fans. So you're saying, I don't think it's representative of all of Knicks fans. And they're saying, well, Knicks fans are the Groypers. Here's what they believe. Sometimes they'll say some unsavory things, jokes. They'll say they will do this, that, and that in the name of Nick. But you don't listen to the explanation. You just want to disparage them. Awful take.
Be fans of Fuentes who will threaten to rape and murder children. And I'm like, I really don't think those are Knicks fans. I'm willing to bet those are like leftists who are trying to make Nick look bad. Mary Morgan was on the show, and she's like, no, that's ridiculous. And Elijah Schaefer also said, no, that's ridiculous. And then a bunch of people in chat were like, that's absolutely not true. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong.